Brought to you by CBCS, Comic Book Certification Service. Operating grading and certified. Pressing and dry cleaning. Authenticate and verify of signatures. A rewards program. Promo codes. Visit cbcscomics.com today. CBCS, it's the clear choice.
You are listening to the Earplug Podcast Network, a Fanboys Inc. production.
And we are live. Where's Jamie?
I was about to say what happened to Jamie.
We are live right now. With
I had to get the dog's blanket so he laid down.
What are you doing?
And then I had to feed the turtle because he was chasing the fish around and the fish is going to beat him up. So, you know.
If
Leave me
people
alone.
say if people say I am the unprofessional one.
I'm very professional.
Oh my God.
Professionally.
I am Louis Perry. I am Louis Perry. That is Jamie Nolan. And this is Steve Powell from CBCS, our great sponsor from the Angry. And we are the Angry Geeks. Hello, Aviva. How are you? For some reason, I'm getting an echo tonight, and I don't know why.
It's definitely, I heard it during the intro. I thought it was my thing, but I guess not.
Okay. Are you guys getting an echo or no?
I heard a little bit of an echo, yeah.
Aviva, do you hear an echo? We'll see what she says.
Don't know why I'm getting an echo.
You probably broke something like usual.
And Joe Goulart is in the house. Hello,
Hi,
Uncle
Joe. Hi,
and our number one fan, Andre, is in the house. How are you? And yeah, I heard it too. I'm going to have to work on it. We're working on the intro because the boss, not this boss, that boss, doesn't like it. So I have another intro on what, so I have to fix it.
It's obnoxious.
Is it?
You want people
Steve,
to watch the show, not run away from it.
Steve, you pay the bills. What do you think of the intro?
The one that I just saw, I liked it. Although when the music was playing and as you're doing the voiceover, it might be just my ears, but instead of hearing, CBCS, the clear choice, I heard the queer choice, which and I didn't know if I could say queer on the podcast, but I'm going to say it again, so that's twice. So if anyone wants to,
you're only stating what you thought you heard, so
Oh, and
No, he
Neil
really
is in the.
probably did say it.
No, I did not say that. And Neil's in the house. Neil says, "Hello, all. Live
Hi,
stream is fine
Neil.
now."
Neil,
But
you are a fantastic elf, by the way.
yeah, that was Stymie. That wasn't an elf. That
There's no
was
children
Neil.
on tonight.
Oh, that's right. There is no children on tonight. And Uncle Joe says, I wait 5 minutes till the intro is over. I think it's mildly too long. Love you guys. We love you too, Uncle Joe, for sure. Absolutely, we love you.
Oh, I got right.
So, Steve, yes, you did get it right. Steve, before we get into stuff, everyone
right.
likes to hear if anything good came across your desk as of late. Anything anything of
Super
good.
cool.
It's super cool. Well, yeah, at a couple of the conventions that we've been at, of course, we take in books that have been previously signed by creators who are no longer with us. And at the last show that I was at, which was personally Seattle with Emerald City Comic Con, we took in a Fantastic Four #1 signed by Jack Kirby. It was a truly beautiful copy, and the signature looked just awesome. So yeah, that was one we were geeking out on, without a doubt.
Nice.
Yep.
All right, and Uncle Joe wants to know if Steve, can you address a question?
Maybe.
What's the address?
What is the question?
What is the question, Uncle Joe? And
what
Jamie.
Status on the magazine?
Yes, magazine sizes. Thanks, Joe. I mean, Joe's a big supporter of us. I'm sure this was a question geared because I'm sure he has lots of magazines to submit with us. So here's the thing: magazine cases are something that CBCS has been working on for years. If anyone has stopped by our booth trying to submit a magazine for the last 2 years, 3 years, we've had to tell them it's a work in progress. But right now, the cases are on a boat and they are heading very fastly towards Dallas. So the only holdup that we've had so far is, I'm sure most people are aware that just with everything
Getting
that's
those
happened
containers
with COVID,
unloaded.
the containers are slowly being loaded and all throughout the world.
Just like Steve's internet, it's very slow.
Chain nightmare.
I
But
was
the
like,
cases
is
are on
this
their way,
me
which
or is
means
this?
No, I think it's Steve's internet.
I'm glad it's not me for once.
No, it's not you. And Steve's gonna get
where'd you go?
Oh. And the containers and the boats are just like your internet, Steve. Very slow.
I don't. Maybe it was my internet, but I gotta say that nothing else was affected. But it just seemed like the whatever just sort of went to heck in a handbasket. But long story short, yeah, the containers are on their way. So very, very soon we are going to be launching our new magazine cases. So January is going to be an exciting month for CBCS and our customers. So thanks, Joe.
Very good. I do have a question for you. With the promo codes, how does the promo codes work? I did have some questions about that. That came through the Angry Geeks website, and they were asking me what about the promo codes? How do they work?
We were doing promo codes almost monthly, and we were offering some specials to our customers that would go to our website or would pay attention to social media, and then they would get a promo code. And then as they were submitting orders with us, they could either write the promo code on the paper submission, or there's a place on the actual online submission where they can type in the promo code, and that would get them some sort of discount or promotion with us. We're not running one right now, but keep in mind, January is going to have a lot of exciting things. So I would expect a promo code soon, a special offer.
Just so you all know, my birthday's in January too.
Well, nice.
Just
maybe
so
we can do a
guys.
Special Angry Geek promo code.
It's a big one too.
We can do a special
I'm gonna be the big 2-0.
You're gonna
times 2.
Yeah, I'm sure we could do something like that. We could work that out. Now, the Angry Geeks website for merch is live, Steve, so you can go there. We do have all sizes on there now,
Fantastic.
and even 2 different versions of the I Am a Jamie Dolan fan. All sizes
When
for
did
that is up
happen?
there. It happened the other day, actually. I've been busy. I've
He
been
does
working on
these
a bunch
things.
of different
See,
stuff.
he uses me for my me
Uh,
and doesn't even tell me.
That's true. No, I sent you pictures. I said, Jay, hey, what do you think about this? And I don't
No,
get an
you
answer. So I'm like,
didn't.
okay. Yes,
You
I
did
did.
not.
I sent you a picture. I sent you a picture of Santa right here in the Geek Lair, and I didn't
Yeah,
get
I
nothing
ignored
back.
that because I hate Christmas. But
What?
I know. Isn't she evil? She's so
Don't
evil.
say that.
I
Well, I'm
can't
just going to
help
return your
it.
present. That's
Uh,
fine.
Ugh.
Well, actually, Jamie and I agreed no Christmas gifts for each other this year because they usually sit around here until we see each other.
Till
I
another
had Christmas.
year.
Yes, I know. I had Christmas gifts for Jamie for two sets of Christmases because of the
Well,
pandemic.
but yeah, I was gonna say because COVID happened.
Yeah,
It just
and
yeah.
we did not see.
There's this new thing called the mail. It
Oh, don't
Yeah,
get me started.
Where's
No.
Corey? Are you on tonight, Corey?
No, he actually Corey. Let me say something about Corey. Corey, from what I understand, and I went back and I watched the video because all I did was introduce Santa. I was not a part of the show. I
Did he
introduced
ask for
Santa.
his prize from last
Yes,
year under his tree?
Corey
Mm.
actually asked Santa to make sure that I do.
I'm just gonna have to give an ultimatum. And here it is.
What would that be? Well,
Until Corey receives that box, I will not be on the show.
oh, that you can't do that.
But I
You
can.
No, you can't do that.
Doesn't know how to
It's
use
so
the mail.
easy to go to the post office and just drop it off. You have all week. It's only Monday.
Yes, I
Email
will do it. I
tomorrow.
will. I promise. It will be done this week because the big man himself, Santa, actually promised Corey that he will have me do it. So if
And I
the
won't
big
be on
guy,
next week if he doesn't do it.
if the big guy did, if the big if the big guy asked, I have to do it. But that's Corey actually asked Santa for that.
That's sad.
I know.
He probably
I
doesn't
know.
even believe in Santa.
Oh, a lot of people did. Actually, from what I understand, Steve, if you can believe this, there was a young lady that was actually grilling Santa and asking Santa all kinds of questions. And it was just insane that Santa was actually being grilled and interrogated by a 10-year-old child. And this
Like
10-year-old
what
child was
kind of
asking
questions was this 10-year-old asking?
how old her brother was and what she got for Christmas like the year before. And it was just and Santa's trusty elf Stymie was no help at all.
And
That was
your answer is
it's
like you're begging to be on the naughty list, that type of.
pretty much, yes. Pretty much, yes. And Wolfie is in the house. And
Hi,
Wolfie,
Wolfie.
what does Wolfie have to say?
Oh, he wishes me a Merry Christmas, and he put in a good word with Santa for me.
Yes,
Thank
he
you,
did.
Wolfie.
He
At
did.
least
He
somebody's
said,
looking out for me.
no, he did. Wolfie did put in a good word for Sam. Most people did. No one asked where the Angry Geeks were. They just put in a good word for Jamie, and everyone just told them to forget me. That was pretty much. And Neil says, yes, Starmie had no idea what to do in that situation. When that little girl was just asking some weird questions, then asked
You
if
should have
Santa.
just said Mrs. Claus didn't bring you your list, so you're not sure. That's the only way that you know.
Well, the little girl had also asked Santa if Santa could make her mom better because her mom had COVID. And Santa quickly went to the next question. Yes, quickly went to the next question from there. So, yeah. Anyway, Hawkeye. Jamie, what did you think of episode 4? And we're going to spoil the crap out of it because our boss down here didn't watch any of it yet.
So, Good. I watched it on my lunch break on Wednesday because there was no way I was waiting till I had a free hour. That's like my only free hour I get every day. So, I mean, it's like 40 minutes, but still.
Yeah.
My mind was like, just like that. Like I was sitting in the car in a parking lot and I was like, are you kidding me right now? Like, is this really what's happening right now?
So do you think, now I don't want to give it away for Steve, but it's
this is fine. Please.
Okay.
I love
do you think that the swordman, how is he going to react when he finds out that the sword is gone? And do you think Hawkeye knows who that Black Widow was? Not that she is a Black Widow, but who it actually is.
By the way that scene played out, I don't think he does.
Okay.
Because I feel like if he did, his reaction would have been very different.
Okay.
But with his character, it's hard to say because, I mean, and that's the whole thing that Kate keeps telling him, like, he's just very monotone with everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he doesn't, so I don't know. I don't think he does.
Okay. Now, do you give into the fan theory that his wife is Mockingbird?
I could almost see it.
Well,
the way that he's bouncing off of her in this series, it's very, very possible.
It is, because we did not see that in none of the films.
No, they didn't show her really involved. It was just like family life. He's Hawkeye.
Correct.
And that was it, where he's in contact with her and she's feeding him things. So, yeah.
And she spoke Russian.
Exactly.
That blew my mind. Steve was like, what the hell? I got to watch this now. What the hell am I missing?
I have to get caught up on that. So
it's so good.
It is. It's now a lot of people saying it's one of the most underrated or unliked Disney Plus shows.
I didn't read that it was unliked. I read that it was like almost underrated or unwatched. Like it has the least amount of views. Mm-hmm. And I think it is because it's Hawkeye and it's not like he's mainstream, but not like Iron Man or Thor or, you know what I'm saying? And he doesn't have these cool superpowers. But I like the fact that he's just kind of like a regular guy and kicks ass. I don't know.
I'm really digging it, and I like how he is training Kate, and I do like how they tied in.
And those two,
their chemistry is beautiful.
Oh my God, so good.
And
so good.
The whole rooftop battle when Kate falls off. And he starts having the flashbacks of Nat, and then he cuts the rope and says, "Go home." That was really cool. And do you think they're each going to get a costume because of the LARPers?
Yes, I do.
When she said, "What's in it for us?" I was like, "Are they dirty cops?" But now, of course, they're not dirty cops. You know what they want. It's just insane. What do you think the deal is with the Rolodex? Whose Rolodex is it?
You mean Rolex?
Yeah, I said Rolodex, didn't I? Oh my God! Yeah, yes. The Rolex. Excuse me. Pardon me. The Rolex. Whose Rolex is that?
Rolodex. I can't with you.
I said Rolodex. Hey, Wolfie has a comment. We'll get to that comment in a second.
No, yeah. So I don't know, because he said whoever it is, they will easily find out their identity if they get into it or something like that. Like it'll give away who somebody is.
Then it's got to be Hawkeye and the Ronin, and it has to be his.
But what in a watch?
I don't know. Steve, do you have any theories on that, even though you have not watched it?
I've got nothing. I'm still reeling from the Rolodex comment. I mean,
I can't believe I said that.
anyone younger than 30 years old has no idea what the hell you're talking about, right?
I know.
I'm like, well, they won't find out who it is, but they'll have all their contacts.
Well, think about it. It is a Rolex, and they're saying they're going to find out who it is. You know, they're going to find out their identity. If it is in the Rolex, therefore it is a Rolodex. Hey, Wolfie's got a comment.
Yeah, Wolfie. Yeah, he says Hawkeye is mainstream, at least in the comics. In the comics, Mockingbird is Hawkeye's. Right. I mean, he is mainstream, but he's not like one of these ones where kids want an action figure, and that's more what I was leaning toward. Yeah, he's and it was same with the Eternals. They're just not these super popular characters that the people that know the main three are going to go see.
Well, see that speaking of the Eternals, Christmas shopping, we're going through the toy department and picking out things. The shelves are stocked with Eternals action figures, whereas the rest of them you can't find anywhere, including on the DC side. The shelves are empty. The Marvel Legends, it's empty. It's like, and the Eternals, they're everywhere, and it's just insane. Viva's coming back, and it says the joke in the show over and over is he doesn't have the name recognition. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, very true.
The branding, his branding is completely off.
All right, and why don't you read Wolfie's comment?
Yeah, he says, sorry, but Hawkeye and Green Arrow were the characters I loved as a kid because they were archers and just super powered. Right, and that's what I love about them. I like the regular, it's like Batman, the same thing. He's a regular dude. He's, and to me, that's cool. To be a regular person and just have this insane talent and be able to keep up with these superheroes,
It is funny that both archers, Green Arrow and Hawkeye, were very disgruntled, very angry in the comic books. They were always the ones who were sort of the outsiders. And maybe that's just not resonating that much with people, and it's hurting the Hawkeye series a little bit. But I don't know. He was always one of my favorite characters growing up, despite the purple outfit. I mean,
even in the Secret Wars, Wolverine grabbed Hawkeye, and I'm trying to remember. Was it somebody who said it to Hawkeye, or somebody said it? It was either the Cyclops or somebody said it about Hawkeye. I forget who it was because they're both jerks. But somebody said, "Hey, easy. He's a jerk, but he's our jerk." I don't know if Cyclops was saying something to Hawkeye, and somebody yelled at Cyclops and says, "Hey, lay off of Hawkeye. He's a jerk, but he's our jerk." Or if Hawkeye said something and said it to Cyclops, but Hawkeye was involved in this panel. Steve, do you recall that panel was in one of the Secret Wars? Somebody, one of our listeners,
Guard will know.
Yeah, Uncle Joe, do you remember that panel? I believe it was in Secret Wars, the very first Secret Wars, Volume 1. It was in issue number 1. And was it Wolverine yelling at Hawkeye? I can't remember. Somebody was yelling at Hawkeye, and somebody stood up and said, "Hawkeye's a jerk, but he's our jerk." Or was it Cyclops is a jerk, is our jerk? But they referenced that Hawkeye's a jerk in the comics. And hold on one second. We have another comment from Wolfie. Wolfie's very talkative tonight.
Wolfie's on fire tonight. Yes. I said Clint Barton, a.k.a. Hawkeye, ran away and joined the circus. That's how he became a marksman. I loved the purple outfit. I wish they would have gone more that way with the costume, which they might. I mean, because Kate's is purple. And
come on. I mean, with the wings coming up and the big H on the forehead.
Well, Steve, you have yet to watch it, and
I know.
there,
You talk
well,
about
they,
the comic book version.
There's
that
a
yes,
reference.
there is a reference to that. There's a reference to that costume in the show where Kate, or the new Hawkeye, actually draws that costume and gives it to Clint and says, I think you would look great in this. And, and there's a bunch of people now that there's some LARPers that are building costumes. So don't be surprised if that costume shows up. That's all that we're saying right now.
Yeah,
Because
because all they had to do was provide the materials and enough for them to make costumes for themselves too. So
plus two.
I mean, right,
Plus two.
right.
Yeah. So we might see that costume. And Kate did produce that costume. And he said, what is the H for? And she said, Hawkeye, duh. And he had the two big Wolverine type wings. And it was hilarious. And she drew it all in purple. So I think that was in episode 2 or 3. And it was so funny.
All I remember is they were at a diner.
A diner.
She drew it on the napkin.
She drew it on yeah. And it's a great show. I think it's great. But
I'm really enjoying it.
It's going to be coming to an end soon because the Book of Boba Fett is coming up. With the Book of Boba Fett coming up, there is a new trailer out for that. And they're saying that the Millennium Falcon is in it, but I don't see it. I see a ship that could be it, but I do not think that it's the Falcon. Have you seen the trailer, Jamie?
I've not
seen
the trailer.
Okay, there is a trailer there. They're calling it the Millennium Falcon trailer. I don't see the Falcon. So I just don't see it. I see a ship that could be it, but I don't think that it's it. But I am super excited for the Book of Boba Fett. But what happens on Disney Plus is when they start showing us trailers for upcoming series, it means the series that we're into right now is slowly going to come to an end. And that gets me sad.
They got to build you up for the next one.
Yeah, I know, but this is a totally different universe.
Yeah, and I seriously, I am really, Hawkeye is up there for me.
Oh, me too.
It's really up there. So
Steve, Hawkeye versus the Green Arrow, who would win?
Hawkeye.
Really?
Oh yeah, without a doubt, Hawkeye. He never misses.
Oh, okay.
He
that your only
power, but yeah, I think it was explained once in the comics that his reflexes and eye to hand coordination or something coordination just makes it. I mean, he's like the world's greatest archer, and doesn't matter what you give him, he'll hit the target. I think hands down, Hawkeye wins.
Okay, now, and
we have a contender.
We have a
contender. Ollie wins.
But I'm going to throw this out for all those DC fans. Green Arrow's wife. If she's in the battle, you got to give it to Black Canary, hands down.
Okay.
Those two better teammate than anybody else that ever teamed up with Hawkeye.
Okay, they did reference what you just said in this episode 4 of Hawkeye, where when he's giving Kate a tutorial on different things, he does pick up a Christmas ornament and he tells Kate, I can knock someone unconscious with this. And it was like a little bottle cap.
Oh, it was like a coin or something.
Yeah.
It was a coin.
And she says, no, you can't prove it. And he goes, I'm not going to knock you out. I'm not going to do this. And she says, prove it, prove it, prove it. And all he did was snap his fingers. And it bounced off the wall, bounced off this, and shut off the TV. And then he started training her how to do it. It was just unbelievable. Viva comes in and says, Hawkeye is only 6 episodes. That means we only have 2 left.
No.
Yes. That.
Great sadness.
I know. We got to take a quick 30-second break, and we'll be right back to talk more geek and pop culture stuff. We'll be right back in 30 seconds or less.
Angry Geek Show. Brought to you by CH Square Collectibles, Comics Collectibles, and more. Magic the Gathering every Friday at 6 p.m. Located at 39 Wedgewood Drive, Suite 232, Jewett City. Comics, sports card, autographs, online sales. CH Square Collectibles, proud sponsor of the Angry Geek Show.
And we're back with Jamie, Steve, and I just hanging out here. I don't know. I'm going to say Ollie would win in a battle between Clint and him. I have to go for my heart lies. What?
Yeah. I mean,
Because he's a DC
you
fan.
got to pick me up with something.
Okay. I'm just going to say, well, yeah, Jamie is correct. I am a DC fan. Ali was always the number one archer for me. I fell in love with him first. I knew of him first before Hawkeye. It's just going to be, yeah, it's going to be Ali. He was my first exposure. He was more like Robin Hood to me than Hawkeye. And yeah, I mean, my first exposure to even animated style. Oliver was in the very first episode of
What are you
Super Friends.
doing?
What are you talking
I'm
about?
trying to see if Lewis is paying attention.
What were you doing? I wasn't paying attention. What were you doing?
Making faces.
No, I go back and watch this later. What the hell was she doing? No, it's just Oliver. I think he has more of an arsenal, and more of a support group. So I'm definitely going to have to pick.
I'm just going to say, Lewis, that the only way Oliver Queen can beat Hawkeye is if when he takes out that arrow that pops into like a boxing glove and Hawkeye starts laughing and then it knocks him out. That's the only way that he wins that fight. I'm just going to tell you.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. And Ollie, Wolfie is back again. Jamie, why don't you read Wolfie's comment?
Yes, he says Ollie was trained by the guy who trained Errol Flynn in the Robin Hood movie and used those skills to survive the island where he was shipwrecked.
That is the original comic book version. He is right. Wolfie is right 100% on that. Yeah, I would. I don't know. It's a toss up, but I would definitely have to go where my heart lies and definitely say Ollie. I'm sorry, Steve.
No, you can be wrong. It's all right.
Jamie, who would win? Who do you think would win? Be honest.
Tiebreaker.
Hawkeye. I'm with Hawkeye.
Are you serious, really?
Yeah.
On what grounds?
I know more about him. You see, and this is the thing. Even though I'm Wonder Woman, I am more of a Marvel fan, and I know more about Marvel than I do DC.
Yep.
And it, because growing up, like my friend's dad growing up, he collected Marvel comics, so that's what I had the most exposure to. I always just loved Wonder Woman because that's what was. She was big when I was a kid, and she was on TV, and I had the Underoos, and but I wasn't really exposed to her in comics until later. So
yeah, see, I that's why I was with Oliver Queen. Green Arrow was my first exposure to him was on the Super Friends. He was actually on the very first episode of the Super Friends. He was on there, and he actually said,
I think I have a Super Friends mask fabric actually.
And he actually said, "By Robin Hood's bow." When all the Super Friends got shrunk down, and he was there. And Wolfie says, without Green Arrow, there is no Hawkeye. And that's true, too. Green Arrow was before Hawkeye. But as Mike Grell's version of
it's
Hawkeye
superpowers.
Superpowers. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just more.
Oh, there's tank tops in here, too.
Okay, that's
And Wolfie,
good.
just because he was the first doesn't mean he was the best. I'm just gonna put it out there.
Yeah, okay, just because he was the first doesn't mean he's the best. You can say the same thing about Submariner and Aquaman. I had that debate many
Here we
times.
go.
Submariner was the first, but Aquaman is the best. Plain and simple.
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, plain and simple. Plain and simple. There you go. Who's excited for The Matrix? Anybody?
Yeah.
Are
can't
you
wait.
I
gonna
mean,
be
I'll
watching?
see it, but I'm not like woohoo about it.
Okay,
I'm
Steve,
excited
going
for
to.
Spider-Man.
Did you get your tickets yet?
They're still available.
Matrix?
I live in the middle of nowhere.
No.
I don't need to get my tickets ahead of time.
Okay.
You forget, I'm a country bumpkin. Nobody goes to the movies up here.
No, I'm about ready to drive up to you to see Spider-Man on the opening day.
Yes.
Yes. And why is Jay Kennedy? Message me elsewhere, please. Jay Kennedy, a good friend of ours, just messaged me on Facebook Messenger. Steve, Matrix, theater or HBO Max?
Theater. You got to see.
Theater,
I think
really?
that's one of those movies you have to see in the theater. Absolutely.
Okay. Jamie, theater or HBO Max?
I will be in the comfort of my Wonder Cave down here.
Wonder Cave.
Listen, but honestly, it's like a movie theater. Like my TV is as big as the wall, so I don't.
Yeah,
I only really go to the movies for the popcorn.
I feel the same way. I do not think that I will be going to the theaters to see The Matrix. I think I'll be watching it on HBO Max. It's I love the first Matrix, but the second and third let me down, much
And
like the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, that's it. I'm not into it enough to justify going to the movies either.
True.
You know, that's my other.
Yeah, the Matrix trilogy, it was the first one just blew me away.
And honestly, though, if it is good, watch it on HBO. If I really like it and I feel like I need to see it in the theater, I'll go to the movies.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Again, as I was just saying, I saw The Matrix, blew me away. Matrix 2 and Matrix 3, I was just, no, I did not care for them. Same thing with Pirates of the Caribbean. Pirates of the Caribbean, I just absolutely loved the first one. The second and third, I was just like, what the hell did I just watch? I hated
You can
the
say
second
that
two.
about every Spider-Man trilogy that's ever been made.
Well, do you feel that way about the current one too?
Yeah, I do.
Really, you didn't like No Way Home?
Didn't like it as much. No.
Really, you didn't like Far From Home?
I did like the first one, but we'll see.
I did. Wow. Okay.
I know.
The unpopular opinion.
Yeah, very unpopular. So you like the first Sam? Let's do
You're
this.
just farted. It's so bad.
Lewis.
All right. So
Oh
the
my God.
Sam Raimi Spider-Man. You like the first?
Yep.
Did you like the second one more than the first?
Nope.
I thought that was the strongest out of the three because the third one was horrible. I did not like the third one at all. Okay. The Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man, and the Amazing Spider-Man 2, I did not care for them at all.
Yeah, right. Either one of those were just a disaster.
Disaster. They were crap. They don't even exist. We'll just put them to the side. Spider-Man Homecoming and Spider-Man Far From Home, I thought they were great and greater.
Really?
So,
okay.
I thought it was really, wow, I'm surprised that you didn't like them at all. So
I like the first one, but the second one sort of left me a little wanting more, I guess. I don't know.
Well, the first one with Tom Holland, that one scene, and Jamie and I talked about this numerous times. What sold me as Tom Holland as Spider-Man was the one scene where Tony Stark takes the costume away, the building falls on top of the kid, and he's crying.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm Spider-Man. I'm Spider-Man. You know, he's like in tears because he is a teenage kid, and he's crying, and you see all this emotion. I'm like, that's friggin' Spider-Man. He's a teenage kid trying to do his best. That made me fall in love right there with Tom Holland as Spider-Man. So that is my Spider-Man right there. Just like Robert Downey Jr. becoming Iron Man. You know, it was just that one scene. There's just one scene, him sitting in the donut. That's Iron Man. You know, it just takes one actor to do one scene to become your hero or that one character, and that was it.
Yeah.
You know, that one scene, and I don't know. I loved all three of them. Andrew Garfield, not so much.
Yeah. I mean, you realize someday they're going to remake the Star Wars stuff, and they'll have somebody else playing Han Solo, and there'll be a scene in the bar, and you won't know who shot first. But I think at least for my generation, what sold Harrison Ford in that particular role was that scene in the bar where he's talking to Greco or whatever Greedo, and just the expression on his face and yeah, that just sold the character for me in that movie, and I don't think anyone else can ever duplicate that.
I don't. You know, you just said one day they're going to remake. I don't know if they will. Well, think about it.
No,
not really.
Think about it, Lou. Like, it'll probably be a long time from now. Like, we'll be probably long gone. But at some point, they are going to remake them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that being said, the both of you, now this is maybe a very unpopular opinion. What about Wizard of Oz? They have not remade that movie yet. Gone with the Wind. Gone with the Wind. We haven't remade that yet.
Yeah, but
they can't remake that now. But yeah.
Well, they can't remake. They can remake Wizard of Oz, but no one wants to touch it because they won't be able to do it right. They won't be able to recapture that magic.
I think it's because there really isn't an audience for it. It's not. You're comparing Star Wars to the Wizard of Oz. There's not.
There isn't. I bet you there is an audience. No, there is.
The Wizard of Oz, but not like Star Wars.
Wolfie comes in and he says they have not remade Casablanca or Key Largo. That's true. There's some classics
I've never even seen either of those.
What?
I haven't even seen Gone in the Wind.
I heard you, but that's not. Yeah, Jamie, come on, you should see Casablanca.
I know. I know.
I was a sheltered kid.
I mean, even some of Abbott and Costello movies they haven't even remade. You don't have to have Abbott and Costello in them to remake them, you know. But
yeah, I think in that case they made the movie what it was.
Okay. All right. I'm just saying, you know, play it again, Sam. It's just. And Chris Heber is here. Hold on one second from CH Square Collectibles. What does he say, Jamie?
He doesn't think they'll ever remake Star Wars because they keep making new content, which he does have a point there.
Yeah, he does have a point, and that's what I'm trying to say. I don't think that they'll ever remake the original Wizard of Oz. I don't think they'll ever do that, and I don't ever think they'll remake 4, 5, and 6. I don't. I think they'll remake 6, 7, and 8 because they sucked. They'll just like wipe them out and
just burn that.
Yeah, just burn it and remake them because they're horrible. But I don't think they'll remake those.
Yeah, they will.
It
may take 30 years, may take more, but they'll eventually do it.
Okay, Jamie.
Romantic.
Wolfie, she is not romantic at all, brother.
Films, 2 of the most romantic films. Before the year is over, please see at least one of them. Which one has the most death in it?
Which one has? And Wolfie says the Wizard of Oz from 1939 was the remake. Yeah, but I'm saying they won't remake the Judy Garland one. That's what I'm saying. They won't remake that. because they won't capture that magic again. And Jamie said, and I beg to differ, and I'm sorry, you're saying that there isn't an audience, but I believe that there is.
Not
There's still
it's
still
going
fans
over
that,
your head. Yes, that's not what I meant. I meant an audience that wants to see it remade. The fans of the movie are fans of it because of what it is. There are Star Wars fans like that now, but if you're going to take kids my kids' age, they're going to look at those old Star Wars movies. Some of them are going to like them. There's going to be some kid that's going to say, this needs to be remade because of X, Y, and Z. And that's it. I'm just telling you, I'm surrounded by these kids. I know how their brains work.
I mean, let's face it. The technology back in 77 when the movie came out.
77. Yeah.
I mean, even the bar scene, you have a lot of people in just clay and plastic makeup. That I mean,
I don't want to see
that bar scene at the time was revolutionary, but it was. I don't think that part of that holds up anymore.
Okay. No.
But
well, I tell you what, though.
Back in 30 years, I bet they've remade it.
Yeah,
and we're going to be old and gross, and we're going to be like, am I going to be 40, 56? Okay, I'll be like 70.
And we'll still go to the theater and see it.
I'm going to drag my butt to the theater, and then Lou and I are going to do an Angry Geeks old person special. We'll call it the Cranky Angry Geeks, about how much it sucked.
Yes, we will. We will. I was there in 77.
I wasn't born yet, but like, to me,
we'll probably still use James Earl Jones' voice for Darth Vader, which may salvage it, right?
Yes, yeah, they probably will, but I don't know. I just don't see them doing it. I really want them just to get rid of the whole Rey Skywalker thing.
What if they remade it and it was a total gender bender, where all the male, like Luke would become female, Darth Vader would be female, Leia would be a man? What if they remade it that way?
I think you watched the wrong movie.
Instead of Leia.
You watched the wrong movie, Steve. You watched the wrong movie. They already did that. Old Angry Geek subtitle, get off my lawn.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'll have 70 cats behind me, and
Jamie be the crazy cat lady, and I'll be like, what? What?
So not any different from now.
Shut up. My God.
Your new sponsor would be Depends or something like that.
And some what is it, like a fiber supplement? Like,
or the I fallen, I can't get up thing. Oh my God. And Neil, don't make me, boy. What does Neil have to say?
I was gonna say, Lewis, you're already like that now.
Thanks, son. I really appreciate it.
I'm totally the get off my lawn person already, so I can't even imagine how bad I'm gonna be. I am that neighbor. I'm just, yeah.
Oh, for sure. Steve, are you like that? Are you get off my lawn or no?
Just the people that walk their dogs and let them crap all over the yard and they don't bother to pick it up. Like, I mean, you're supposed to, or at least make an effort like you do. I'll be the first one to admit that when I take my dog for a walk, every once in a while, I will just grab the bag and go next to the pile of poop and pretend to pick it up and just tie up an imaginary. And
I will.
If you live half a mile away from your house, you are not carrying a bag of poop that far. You're not.
I will tell you, there was these people. So I live on a dead end that was made off of a dead end. And these people would walk their golden retrievers every day and let them crap in my yard. I got into 2 verbal altercations with the husband of this duo, who refused to pick up his dog poop or carry around poopy bags. So me, the lovely human being that I am, scooped up all the turds in my front yard and dumped them in their driveway. And they
Nice.
definitely live a half a mile from the house. But I walked
You
my
didn't
little
tell
house
me
bu-
you
with my
did that.
bucket full of turds, and I was just
When
like, "Broop," in their
You
driveway.
did not tell me
Marched my
you
little
did
butt
that.
back home. This was
You didn't tell
like,
when did you do
oh
that?
my
You did.
god, it was like 3 or 4 years ago at this point. They
Oh.
moved since then. It's probably because of me.
I
but,
wonder why. I wonder
don't
why.
let your dog crap in my yard.
And what does Wolfie have to say about
Wolfie
dog
says
poop?
I'll be rocking the Wonder Woman outfit and sponsored by the yogurt that helps you poop.
Neil says bucket full of turds.
I do. I have it's a metal. It looks like it's a horse feed bucket. It looks like a little metal trash can, and I go on poop patrol in the backyard, and that's when I pick up the turds, and it's just easier because I scoop them up, and then when you have 3 big dogs that poop 3 times a day, you need a bucket, and I dump them in the woods. But
My God.
now that you guys all know about my dog turds.
And
They're healthy poopers.
It's a lot easier in the winter, though, isn't it? I mean, it
Oh,
does
yeah.
freeze after a while. See, I mean,
Well, the fall isn't fun because you get the leaves and they camouflage and
yes.
Wolfie says next time line them up with the tires. Ah.
No.
Ah.
Nice.
Ah.
I can tell you that's the last time I found turds in the front yard.
Oh, that's
You
just
know.
disgusting. Well, that's a bad. Steve, what's the worst prank that you ever did?
I wouldn't
Oh.
say that's a prank. I told him I was going to do it if he didn't pick them up.
Well, look at this. But hold on. No, all right, but this is a good topic. Look
Yeah.
at Steve's face.
Hi, buddy.
Jeez, I don't know if that's something I should talk about.
We got 10 minutes left, 7 minutes left. Yes, come on.
All right, when I was a kid, I was one of our neighbors. I was hired to mow her lawn, and it rained for one time. It just rained for like 3 straight weeks, and I just never got a chance to get up there and mow her lawn. So when I finally got up there, she fired me and said the lawn looks atrocious, blah blah blah. And I'm like, it was raining. How was I supposed to? Just an old crotchety woman. And this sounds even worse now that I'm saying this. So a couple weeks later, it was Halloween. So I got it into my adolescent head that I had to do something about this. So I took a can of like a coffee can, poured it with gasoline after I put a little hole in the bottom of it and taped it. And then, Lewis, it doesn't get that bad. I'm not an arsonist, okay? But when I got to her front yard, I did pull the tape off and just sort of walk the can, in a zigzag fashion through her yard, thinking that it would kill the grass in a nice little pattern. And it didn't work. And so it was a prank, but it really didn't do anything. One of my friends said I should have lit it on fire, but I didn't want to do that.
That's where I thought you were going.
That's where I was going.
No. There's so many, even as an adolescent, I mean, with more hormones and brains, that I knew that was not a good idea.
That's where I thought you were going. I thought you were like, and then I went like this, and a Satan circle came up, a pentagram came up. I was like, what the hell?
Oh my God. Yeah, in the small town that would have been frontline news in our small little 2-page paper that came out twice a week.
Jamie, what was the worst prank that you pulled on someone?
Oh. I was not a prankster. I really wasn't. Yeah. No, I got nothing.
Really?
Not, yeah, believe it or not, because you would think.
I got 2 that I did to my younger brother Joe. First.
Oh, I have one.
Okay.
It's not really that bad though. My sister was sleeping This was actually hilarious. She took a nap after school, and my mom told me to wake her up for dinner. And I was like, oh my God, Laura, you got to get up. You're late for school. And she woke up and like changed her clothes and she came down and we were just having dinner. And I got in trouble so bad for that. It wasn't that bad, but it was so good. It just worked out perfectly.
The first one I did to my younger brother Joey was my parents. They used to go camping a lot, and I didn't go camping with them because I was working just one weekend, and I was working nights at a restaurant. I was a bus boy, and I came home, and I shared a room with my younger brother and my baby brother. I came home, and they were sleeping. They were gone for like a week. And you know the glow worms where you used to squeeze them and they would light up?
Yeah.
Remember those toys?
I think so.
Well,
Yeah.
my brother Joey, he was sleeping. And I walked over. Now, my brother Michael, he had a crib over in the corner, and he had one of those glow worms in the crib. So I took it, and I walked over to my brother Joey, and he was sleeping. He must have been about 8 or 9 at the time. And I just shook him a little bit, and I held the glowworm over his head, and you could see him open his eyes, and I squeezed the glowworm just a little bit. I'm laughing just thinking about it, and you can see his eyes just like open up in terror. Then I stop it. I stop the glow, and then I move it over to the corner, and then I just touch him a little bit and squeeze the glowworm a little bit more, and I was moving around. And then I put it like right up next to his face, and I squeezed it again, and he started screaming and woke up the whole entire house. I got so much trouble there. That was one joke. The other joke I did to my brother was
I was just thinking you probably had a lifetime of night terrors after that.
Right?
Oh my God, it was hilarious. I highly recommend doing it. The other one was my parents were going away on vacation, and my grandmother, God rest, was over to watch us prior to I forget who was coming over to, house sit and watch the kids, and my parents went away. I told my same brother Joey that if he got on one of the suitcases, he could ride down the staircase of the sled.
Oh, I did that in the sleeping bag. Thank you.
Well, my parents, bless you, had.
Thank you.
This is back in the late 70s, early 80s. My mom had shag carpeting all through the house.
Every house had that back then.
Oh my! No, this was like Chewbacca. This was like Chewbacca. I told Joey, if you sit on this, you're gonna go straight down. You're gonna go right down the hallway, right out the door. Right out, you'll be fine. So he got on top of the suitcase, but instead of sitting on it like a toboggan, he laid down on it.
Ooh.
And he went down the stairs full force. And when he hit the stairs, instead of coming down like this, he hit the stairs like this, flipped over, smashed his head into the wall, came up with a bloody nose. I got in trouble for that too. I beat the crap out of my younger brother so bad. Wolfie has a practical joke. Jamie, why don't you read Wolfie's joke?
Wolfie's friend had a 79 Camaro. Another friend had a junkyard and called me telling me a wreck 79 had come in the middle of the night, replaced his perfect car with a wreck. He called us the next day crying.
Oh my God,
I would have killed somebody.
That is awful. Steve, tell everyone where they can find CBCS, even though they see it every week in front of the intro. Please tell everyone where they can find you online if they have any questions about grading comics, grading cards, grading toys, and soon magazines.
Yeah, www.cbcscomics.com. Have any questions? You should be able to find it there. If not, there's also links to customer service, so we'll be happy to take care of you.
Jamie, tell everyone where they can find you and I each and every week, please.
You can find us on the website at theangrygeekshow.com or on Facebook and Instagram at The Angry Geeks.
I am Lewis. That is Steve. This is Jamie. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. Please join us next week as we have from Codex Prime, the one and only Cardbird, and his sidekick. We will see you tomorrow, and I will see you tomorrow night on the Faces and Heels podcast. I am Lewis.
I'll be horsing around.
Today's
Thank
you very
National
much.
Horse Day.
See you guys
Merry
later.
Christmas, everyone.
This has been an Earplug Podcast presentation. Found on earplugpodcast.com, iTunes, SoundCloud, and wherever your favorite podcasts are found.